We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm.
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
The hood, we locked the
I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.
What up? What's good, Coach? How that AU All-Star practice looking?
Oh, it's coming together. It's coming together.
Coming together, yo?
Just like the plan was intended to. It's forming like Voltron, baby.
Oh, let's share this thing out.
It's forming like Voltron.
Cedric out there promoting a Popka. Said you out there? Hey, yo, listen. I know that all around Pop Warner, y'all been waiting for those rankings for 11 and 10. They come in tonight. They're going to hit the internet tonight. I've been procrastinating, but they hitting tonight. The Pop Warner national rankings will hit tonight. What up, man? Eddie's the name, I think that says. B West 13.
What's going on, baby? That's Coach. I'm pretty sure that's my man West. But you know, my offensive coordinator, our AU offensive coordinator. I believe.
Oh, okay. His face usually look different.
I think. Oh, I don't know. Maybe not then. Maybe.
It could be. That's YouTube.
Yeah.
The General. Let's smash
you already
these
know. Gil, yeah, that's West. Gil, you already know, Playboy. You already know them cats is coming to CT for the broomstick. They about to get the broomstick.
Hey, Cuddy, what up, Cuddy? You going against Coach Gil, Cuddy?
What up,
Good
Cuddy?
luck.
What's up,
Mark,
Coach Renard? That's my man. That's my man from Rhodey.
Rhode Island, yeah. Mark,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But anyway, it's your boy, Coach Career, the General, leader of the Fifth State Army.
It's your boy, PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. And we are back, Tito. I'm drinking.
No, I gotta get on it. I gotta get on it.
This is the green rind from watermelon. She threw that in there. If y'all know about it, look it up. I ain't gonna go into it. But yo, T, all right. So, hey, y'all, we got some great topics today, by the way. We got some great topics. So our first topic, Tito, how weak leadership can be detrimental to a program. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna go mine. Go ahead.
To an organization, absolutely. When you don't have the ability to make the tough decisions that are necessary to move your program forward, it's always going to lead to lack of sustainability. It's always going to lead to you not getting better leaders to mold the young men. It's going to lead eventually to I always have trouble saying that word, toxicity in your program. I mean, those are the three major components: sustainability, toxic relationships, and you not having the ability to get better coaches to lead the young men. That's just my opinion.
Yep. Miss Bryant said, "I like your hat, Mr. Above 140 Intellectual Wear." Well, thank you.
Maria, you know it's dope. We pulled up with that. Yeah,
if you want to know how you can get one, Miss Bryant, I just plug you in with my wife and she'll help you out. All right, so Tito, let me say this, bro. Will the games be live streamed Saturday? Absolutely. Yeah, they'll be live streamed, fellas. Everybody, they'll be live streamed. But pull up, man. It ain't nothing like watching it in person, even though I don't know a better live stream person than the guy we got, Tito.
Oh, yeah.
Our live stream be A1. But so Tito, I'm gonna go one step further and say weak leadership can be detrimental in other cases as well on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna give you an example. When you have an inability to make, it's not cool as a leader to accept the good things, but claim ignorance and programmatic red tape for the bad things. That's weak leadership as well. It's not just decision making. I'll give you an example. I could run around and say, yeah, you see the Hurricanes, brother, I do all the work. It's me. And then Tito go, yo, Phil, yo, you know, you got coaches over here, bro, that shouldn't be here because of XYZ. And I go, oh, well, you know what, Tito? You got I put Anne-Marie and Condra in charge of that. I can't have that, Tito, right? Because what happens is I only want to accept the good part about the program while turning and pointing at the bad stuff about the program. Another way that weak leadership come into play is when you have an inability to make a decision and stand on it when it's unpopular. Right. It's hard to cut coaches, bro. We all look for volunteers that have the number one the time. That's the first thing, right? You got to be present. We say the first thing about coaching is be present. But the second thing you want is a coach that care. A coach that, and when I say care about the kids, obviously, care about the process of coaching.
Well, punctuality, being on time.
Be on time.
Right. Just things of that nature that are.
And when somebody's coming up short with that or having the knowledge of football, when is it time to remove them? That's tough as a president because we do lack volunteers. So it's a tough call on when is the best time to do that. And that's always tough.
Well,
but that can be detrimental if you hold on too long. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. When you know you're holding on to somebody that's questionable, that is not all right. His intentions may be right. His commitment level may be right. His intentions may be right. His commitment level may be right. But if he's not getting it done on the part that matters most, which is the development of the children, you have to find another role for that individual, and you have to make a tough decision.
Correct.
You have to. For the betterment of your program.
Right. You for the program, correct.
At a baseline level.
I want to answer that question. Eddie.
Oh, JB just dropped the jewel.
Eddie Looney said, will there be concessions? I'm going to get to the NEBCS game, but yes, there's a food truck, and I'll talk about all the food the food truck will be selling, but there is concessions. JB said, weak leadership leaves gaps that get filled by those with their own agendas. True. I'll say, JB, I agree with that, but I'm going to say it differently. Weak leadership can be, let me put that back up. Weak leadership fills gaps with those with their own agendas. Because what happens is, if I get into your program and you don't want to fire me, I'm there every day, but I ain't really coaching the kids up, but I'm knocking off half the moms. I'm hypothetically, y'all, calm down. Right? Somebody gonna clip this and say it's happening. But hypothetically, if I'm doing that and that's my agenda, weak leadership will not fire me and allow me to fill that void and stay in that position. That's what I meant, JB. By your comment is right, but also I think it fills the gap. I don't think it leaves the gap open to get filled later. What happens is, without removing that person, that gap is filled with that, possibly with that toxicity in it. Weak leadership puts a ceiling on a program. I also think that's true, Tito. I think a program can only be so good with weak leadership. I do not think a program, and we're not talking about a team. Don't say, oh, we flourishing because my 10U went to Florida. That's not flourishing. Programmatic flourishing, in my opinion, and I'll talk about it, is your retention rate. I tell everybody, what I love about Hartford, we have a high retention rate. That's how I know the coaches, the parents, the staff, everybody. For the most part, obviously, we go through all the woes that every other program go to. We're not special, but we have a high retention rate. Kids come back. You do have coaches that'll try to leave, that'll try to pull kids and all of that stuff, but for the most part, our youth and our coaches, we have a high retention rate. And to me, that's programmatic flourishing. Now, programs don't like to accept responsibility when coaches or kids leave them. We always like to blame others. We do. It's hard to look at yourself. Y'all know this in life, just as work. It's hard to look at yourself and say, what did I do to make a person want to go somewhere? And every program, if a person left you, there's something as a program we could have all done differently. It could be the most lousy person. It could be the best person. Look, maybe you didn't want to keep that person, but there is stuff, programs we need to look at.
Dontre, ultimately, the leader is accountable. I mean, if there's flaws in the program, the leader has to accept.
The community is the answer. The community holds the leader accountable.
Right.
When the community decides to leave that program, the leader is now being held accountable.
He has to be held accountable.
The community leaves the program, and that's who gets held accountable.
The leader needs to be held accountable if you're not sustaining your numbers, if the financials ain't right, if your parents are out of control, if your teams aren't performing, if the leader accepts all responsibility. If your crowd's out of control and there's a fight, unfortunately, I know people don't want to take blame for that. That's on you. That's on you.
Happened to me.
You didn't do enough. I mean, we got to eat it. I mean, even if it's out of your control, at the end of the day, you got to get in front of it. You have to get in front of it.
Bro, you have to.
Now, one thing I must say, one thing I will say, I believe in New England, we are not struggling. We have yet to be touched by that nastiness that we all have seen in prior posts. So, and I think maybe because we brought some light to it, hopefully we could keep that run going. But at the end of the day, when things go wrong, whoever's in charge has got to eat responsibility for it.
Always, man. I think that leadership is tough. And the biggest thing about leadership is you have to be willing to learn. It wasn't easy for me early on. Now I learned it. How to allow people that will not put in the time, that will not put in the effort, that will not do half the things you do, but they still have a right to criticize you because you decided to be a public figure working with children in a community, and you will get criticized.
That's another valid point.
Also is another layer of accountability.
Another valid point.
That's another layer of accountability.
When you decide to put yourself out in front of the public as a volunteer, because that's the first word y'all all use, and why I hate the word. I hate the word. When you decide to put yourself out as a public volunteer, you signed off on everybody looking into your life. That comes with it. And don't hide behind, I'm doing for the kids. No. When you decide to be a volunteer coach, you got to accept the responsibility. Now you're a public figure, and you're going to be held to a higher standard. That comes good, bad, and ugly, and everything in the middle. You put your stuff out there. If you have some things you don't want people to find out about, and you agreed to be a coach, people have the right to look into you. Don't buck dance when the heat comes. You know what I'm saying?
And I want everybody out there to understand there's layers to leadership. So as the president, my leadership can be detrimental. But as a head coach, Tito, your leadership can be detrimental to the program as well.
Absolutely.
Right? You could make a whole team of 12-year-olds never want to come back to a program.
Right.
Or you can make them love it and all of them will come back, win, lose, or draw. So the layers of leadership in a program, all of them, this is about all of them. Weak leadership at the coaches level, the board level, all of it can be detrimental. You have to have strong leaders. Listen, everybody out there, the biggest thing you can do is pick head coaches that represent your program properly.
Or represent your mission statement. Or represent what you stand on.
True.
Or represent what you stand on.
True.
Because too many times, you want to put yourself out there, then when the heat comes, cats tuck their tail and run. Like, or they try to hide behind leadership. Like, that'll be like me trying to hide behind you instead of owning your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't do that. And
y'all
again,
gotta talk to this person. I don't know.
If the president made a bad choice, the president has to stand on the fact that you knew about this, you allowed it to be brought up in your program, and now you got to get in front of it. Whether you remove the coach, friend or not, you know what's good for your business. And what I see is a lot of people start buck dancing when they gotta make the tough decision when it comes to people they know.
Tito, you know this. I had to remove way back. And I've had to remove.
I fired my own brother off my coaching staff. I fired my own brother multiple times. Multiple times. My brother, same mother, same father.
I've had to remove coaches in my program, right? I've always did it talking to them personally, right? I've never did it on social media. It never hit social media. The only way people would have known is if they would have told them, right? And it's never easy because one of the coaches who I did this to, look what happened. They ran around, they made stories up, they changed the whole narrative, and the discussion happened in front of a group of all the head coaches in the program. Right? And still went around. There is something that's going to come back to you, but you got to stand on business. The coach blew the bag in front of the whole city of Hartford on a Tuesday night versus New Haven in a game in which we was 7-1 and the second seed in the state. We were playing the 7th seed. Everybody in the city is there, and they're beating us on non-traditional football plays and knock us out the playoffs. The community was pissed. I was pissed. My discussions, I said to them, guys, you guys don't have a defensive end. And when your coach look at you and say, oh, we don't gotta cut him off because the sideline's gonna do it for us. It's time to go, bro. I'm sorry. When I heard a coach tell me the sideline was going to make him cut back into the line.
You're the greatest person in the world. You're the greatest person in the world when it works out for everybody.
Oh, 100%.
When it's time for you to stand on business, now here come all the stories. Here comes all the rumor, the back talk. Cats trying to link up with each other to work against you. It never works. You're better off cutting the head off the snake right now. You're better off cutting the head off the snake right now. There was other times that I told you about one particular person. I said, yo, home is moving on you. I'm telling you, home is moving on you. You need to ice him right now.
Years before, too. That's crazy. You had told me like a year or two before.
I said, home is moving on you.
Something don't seem right, bro. And I was like, I made excuses for it.
Right, but you've given people you give people way more chances than I do. All it takes for you with me is slight me once, and it's a wrap for you. I'm going to get you up out of here. One way or another, you're going to get up out of here. I don't care. However it goes, you're getting up out of here. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, when you're an organizational leader, you can't tolerate nobody that's holding the standard that you set for your program. And you can't budge on that standard. You can't budge on it.
Listen, it's always going to make people upset when you say, this is our policy this year. We don't want to come off of it. There's always going to be somebody that go, but why can't we do this? Or why can't we do that? Or why can't we do this? If you're out there and you're not the president and you're a coach, I'm going to ask you to do something. Before you start trying to, and it's not really buck the system because everybody got a right to ask questions. But before you ask that question, try to put yourself in the position of the person at the top making a decision. I can assure you that as a president, we never make decisions that we think is going to be bad for our program. Think about that. So though the program is making a decision for what they think is right, even though it might rub you as a coach, you as a team mom, you as a chair coach, you as a somebody the wrong way, you do realize that the president think he's doing what's best for the program, even though he possibly could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that, and I ask parents to employ you before you do that to a head coach. Sit back and think, do I think this coach is making decisions purposely bad for the team? No, you don't like that decision, but he's doing what he thinks is best for the team. It's called the benefit of the doubt. That's all I'm asking. Everybody in youth football and leadership deserve the benefit of the doubt. However, they also deserve to be accountable for their bad decisions. I've been accountable for my bad decisions. I have made a lot, and people know the decisions I've made, bro. Because Hartford is always the program that people want to run to Facebook and embarrass when some bad shit happens. And so I'm always, two 16-year-old girls fight at my field with the police present, hits the internet as, talk about the fight that happened at Annie Fisher, right?
Yeah.
I recognize though the program that I'm run and how I promote it, we gonna get the smoke. That's why Tito, when I talk to y'all, I'm anal about you guys. Pause about you guys. Please protect the program, and protecting the program protects me and protects you guys because. Tito,
but that's
every year,
Tito,
people have picked up the phone and called National Pop 1 on us. Right. Even when you wasn't here.
Line, I mean, bro, you telling me the cast is always coming for me. But anyways, that's where holding the line. Right. You have to establish a bar, and you can never fall below the bar. And people want to, because they may know you, or again, because we deal with a lot of cats we know. We've been in this game a long time. When it's time to make that tough decision, it always goes left. Because cats take it personal. They don't understand what we're protecting. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. When you're representing the brand, you got to protect. And I'm going to give y'all a lot of game today. Y'all got to protect the brand at all costs. And that means if you got to off your cousin, it's off with his head. If he's out of pocket, out of line, and lessening the brand, it's off with his head. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, nothing comes from my brother. Tito, I put my brother in jail, dog. Yeah. Over the Hartford Hurricanes. Like tell me what you want. That was the rules of engagement at the time.
Nothing could come before the brand. Nothing could come before the brand.
I'm not ashamed of nothing I did regarding this program. And me and my brother cool, we talk all the time. He loved me, but he understood I had to stand on business. There's a group of kids, bro. Last year we had 260 youth. Can't no adult issue be bigger than keeping 260 kids busy at the highest crime time in the city? If you can put something above that, then you have to really check yourself to say, should I be doing what I'm doing and be responsible for what I'm responsible for? Now look, you do work things out. You come to agreements, and you said somebody will throw an idea. You go, maybe I'll change that policy. That's a good idea. But for the most part, there's certain things that you can't waver on. Like, I don't feel like my parents, I'm telling you, Hartford like coaching in New York, I say that. My parents in the Hartford Hurricanes don't let me waver on having coaches that completely don't know what they're doing at the top of that team. And when I have chose those, Tito, don't get me wrong, that has been the case, and everybody know Phil has been in meetings with those parents every week. And I ask you all the time, Tito, why is it I can see other towns, I'm not going to say them, and they can lose every game, bro, and parents have no problem. And we lose 2 games, and I'm in a meeting explaining to my parents.
I told you many times, the problem in the inner city is we are instant gratification. We're instant gratification, and we're a front-running community. Everything's good when you win it, but soon as a little turmoil, which this is a good segue into the next topic.
Yep, the next topic is a good segue into the next topic. Thing. Yep,
right. The next topic, when things are rolling with us, everything is Gucci. Soon as we face a bump in the road, now all of a sudden nobody know what they're doing. This program sucks. This because we're front runners by nature, and we all, especially in the inner cities, we got the crabs in the barrel mentality. Nobody. So
that leads me to my question, Tito. I want to ask all the parents and coaches.
Oh no, that's not the topic I was talking about. I was talking about us messing up the football community. But
all right, let's get to that afterwards. All right, because this is going to lead to that too. I want to ask the coaches and the parents something. I'm so confused. To me, the heyday in Pop Warner is when we did every 2 years. I'm going to tell everybody why every year messed up football in New England. Tito, me and you talked about this year 1 of the podcast. You were a fan of every year. I said it'll ruin AYF. It'll ruin it. I'm telling you, every year ruined youth football. I'm going to tell you why. Remember Pop Warner Nation in 2019 when they did one division nationwide and it was 6, 8, 10, 12, 14? Do you remember how many games you had? Do you remember the gauntlets? And do you remember there were some people that wasn't going to be good the next year? You know why every 2 years? Let's say I'm coaching 10U and I stay there. I might have predominantly 10-year-olds this year. They going to 12U. They might have just went to nationals, won a national championship. You know what I can't do? Just stay with the same group, jump the ship, keep the same team, and be good again. No. Even if I kept the same team, we had 12U, so now I'm on a younger age. I got to coach my tail off to be competitive against some 12-year-olds. So, yes, I might get slapped for a year. But then I got to coach my tail off, and that 12U will be back. Or I stay at 10. I take a young group of 8-year-olds that's going 9, and I get slapped that the year after I went to nationals. But then when they turn 10, I get kids for 2 years. I have to coach. I'm not guaranteed to win. All of that stuff went away with every year because everybody looks at the good team. And if you look in New England, Tito, the teams that were good at 10 usually traveled through and been the best team the whole time. That wasn't the case back then, dog. If you were not a good coach, listen, Tito, you saw very few consistently winning coaches when it was every 2 years. Why is that? I'm gonna say that again. You saw very few consistently winning coaches when it was every 2 years, meaning Tito didn't win in 2015 and 2016 and 2017 and 2018 and 2019. Because you know why? Tito won in 2015, but in 2016, Tito team was predominantly 9-year-olds. His 10-year-olds left. And even if Tito followed his 10-year-olds, he was at 12U, so he had to coach his tail off. So if Tito made the championship, that was something to hang your hat on. Guess what else Tito that did? That stripped away win at all cost mentality because you couldn't win every year, bro. Mm-hmm. So guess what? Tito would do what? Coach the kids up, and you would say, Tito, damn, first time I played Phil, he beat me by 30. The second time in the chip, he beat me 6-8. That's something to hang your hat on. We've lost that. If you lose by 2 points, you're on the internet getting posted talking about, you lost the championship. Right? Like, you get clowned now for losing championships, even if it's a close game. Because that's where we at in the game. Because I follow my own team up, and if I'm the best team all the time, soon as I lose, I get clowned. As a coach, you used to not, it was very few. Mount Hope was a program that was consistent. Dorchester was consistent. Hartford was consistent. Who's some of the other ones that was consistent?
Edgewood
was consistent. Yep. Edgewood was consistent. 2015, 2016, 2017. Division 2. Let me think. It was very few consistently every year teams. Very few, but go ahead. I just dual ages to me, it did, it did what you wanted, Tito. It created a certain culture, and you couldn't change that culture.
Right, you can't. And like I've said it many times. I don't know
about Hyde Park. That might have been before the Hurricanes came,
right.
But the Hurricanes was here. Hyde Park wasn't really.
Like I've said many times, the answer to all of it is what the independent leagues are doing with the grade base. That fixes everything. I know people don't like to hear that, but grade base is another thing that presents better for organizations than single ages. The single age has created the hood hopping, to be honest with you.
Oh, yes. People want to, yes.
Yeah,
I want to be on the best 11.
All the best players in the age wind up, you'll notice with the teams, the good teams have all the talent in that age group, and now it's ranging from cross state lines and all types of other craziness.
And Rich, that's only that's not the case in Pop Warner, Rich. Well, I mean, sometimes it is, but for the most part, you in Pop Warner, you're not playing the same team 2 or 3 times.
No, not at all. That's
West Lynn in Division 2. You're right, Laser. West Lynn is another one that was consistent. But West Lynn, in my knowledge, West Lynn was consistently good at 14U, but they were consistently good. Year after year after year after year, they was very much competitive. You know what I'm saying? So I will say Westland was definitely thanks for y'all saying the hat fire, man. My wife got this hat. Every day I'm gonna change it. So tomorrow is gonna say 2 days and it's gonna be in red. 9, 11, 12, 13,
Right, he's
14.
talking about Westland. He's talking about Westland.
Oh no, yeah, Westland was consistent. Yeah, 100%. Yup, they was consistent. I said that. But again, there was few. Now, if we talk about consistency, now Tito, you could name maybe 10 teams now. I mean, you could say Springfield, Powell. You could say Hartford still. You probably could still say Mount Hope. You probably could.
We're talking about organizations before people start getting emotional. We're talking about organizational dominance.
Right. Organizational dominance. Yeah.
Dorchester. You can still say Dorchester.
That's what I said. I said Dorchester. You still say the 5 I said, but you can add Springfields. You can add the Powell Raiders. You can add Edgewood. Yeah, the same one, Edgewood. Who else could you add over in AYF that's been consistently dominant? Worcester, any of those Worcester teams? I don't know.
Cowboys.
The Worcester Cowboys. And Worcester was good back in the day, but they wasn't consistently dominant.
Lynn Rams, obviously. Lynn Rams. Whatever you want to call them.
Lynn Rams. And so when you look at it like that, I just think that if everybody
listen, outside of Dorchester, I mean West Lynn and Lynn Rams are the next. You know, those two are the cream in that area, in my opinion. Dorchester, West Lynn. However you want to cut the cookie is 1-2. Organizational structure. Everett at one time had that going on as well.
Hey, Brad, that's what we're talking about, Brad, is people that's doing single ages. I think, hey, read what it says. Let me get back to my point, Tito, though. So what I'm saying to everybody is everybody only want to play with their age group. But soon as they become freshmen, y'all want y'all kids to play with varsity players.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Make it make sense. Why can't the 11 and 12-year-olds play together, but you want your 13-year-old to play with the 18-year-old? Why soon as he get 13, he's available to play with 18-year-old? But when he's 12, he can't play 13-year. Or when he's 13, he can't play 14-year. Why is it? It doesn't make sense. That's because what you said, Tito, instant gratification with every year when you're younger. Because they know when you get 13 and 14 and you go to high school, they strip you from the distance to the game. You're not on the sideline. You don't get access to talk to Coach Tito. You ain't talking to the high school coach. He walking by, you're not talking to you. You're not calling his office, getting him on the phone like you texting Coach Tito at 9 o'clock at night. Why my son, is my son ever going to get the ball? What's my son best at? Like, you're not doing that to the high school coach. And so you accept what they do. And everybody go, oh, the job is to prepare them for high school. Y'all don't really let us do that. Because if y'all really let us prepare them for high school, number one, you would not get mad if your child got 5 plays, 3 plays, or 1 play. Because you know what? Preparing them for high school says he may not get none. Don't talk about preparing your son for high school. Some of y'all really don't want that. Some of y'all sons do not deserve to get a play. But it's mandatory, so we give it to them. So y'all don't want everybody prepared for high school. We say stuff in youth football that's a slogan. Oh, it's supposed to be about the kids. When 90% of everything that programs do is red tape around navigating the BS and the other stuff that we talk about. So we actually prepare them technically for high school, meaning Tito could tell him rip drills. You could tell him how to properly do his feet. You could tell him how to properly drop in his zone. You could talk about coverages, but you can only prepare for high school for so much because don't nobody really want you to treat him like a high school coach, Tito. Don't nobody want you to sit little Johnny here because he missed 2 days of practice because mom was busy. And she brings him on Thursday and the game Saturday, and Tito still got to give him 6 plays. They don't want you to treat him like high school, because if you treated him like high school, Tito, you tell him, put on a jersey and show up to the game. No, I didn't say put on shoulder pads and a helmet. I said put on a jersey and show up to the game. Some of y'all don't want to get treated like high school, but we love the slogan of high school. And so we have ruined the space. We are our people, us. We ruined the space, Tito. We ruined the space in the sense that we won't we want something out of the game that really we don't want out of the game. We want prepare my son for high school, not emotionally, mentally, and all of that stuff. I got him for that. Just prepare him for football. But smart people know they go together. I cannot prepare your son for high school if I don't prepare him emotionally for the coach that get in his face and say, you go in there and make the tackle, goddammit, or you get on the sideline. If I can't prepare your son for that conversation, I can't prepare him for high school. If he's going to melt and cry when that conversation happened, I can't prepare your son because that's how I'm going to talk to your son. Go make the tackle, damn it, or you come stand next to me. If I can't say that to your son, then you don't want me to prepare him for high school. You want me to prepare your son for you. Prepare him for how I want you to prepare him for. Give him the ball how many times I would like. Make sure you practice how much I would like. And say the things I would like you to say. And I don't want to play 12U. He's 11. He's not ready for that. But at 13U, coach, why isn't he playing on varsity? Like, it's a crazy dilemma. I'm only saying this to say, listen, 90% of the parents I deal with in our Hurricanes, not like that. They hands off. They let you do what they want. I'm not necessarily one that go through this, but I talk to a lot of presidents. I talk to a lot of coaches. I talk to coaches from all around the nation. This stuff run rampant. And again, I ask everybody, try to be conscious about the conversations you're having with coaches. When you say you want to coach, I want to put my coach where he's going to be developed. Development means accountability. I'll develop your son, but you got to let me hold him accountable. If I can't hold your son accountable, I can't develop him. And that's the beauty about the All-Star game. I have kids that, Tito, I got a call today. There was kids that never showed up to practice, Tito, that tried to show up this week and play in the game. No, you can't. No, because this isn't the fall season. You could be held accountable. No, I'm not giving up the uniform. You can't not show up, bro, for an All-Star game. Show up on a Wednesday before Saturday, and because now it's no NPR. What's the argument? Tito let his son. Tito takes Phil's son. Phil's son don't get in the game, and now I'm
now again. This goes back to standing on the standard. This goes back to the standard and the mission statement and holding the line. You know, I'm dealing with it. I told you I'm dealing with it. It hasn't been there once, but somehow in this particular person's mind, their kids playing on Saturday, and it ain't happening. It's not happening. Under no circumstance will it happen. I'll just get flamed on the internet. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening.
Okay, Tito, what has been the biggest reason for our space being ruined?
Us, our behaviors, our we got to a point where we let just anybody in. And with our people, it's been proven time and time again, we can't just let everybody run shit. Because for some reason, when we get in charge of shit, and I'm speaking holistically, I'm not pointing at nobody. I'm speaking from my opinion of how us personally, minority men, at least in this space in Connecticut, have kind of ruined the inner city football. And it's because of the culture. We see other cultures and we embrace it, and we think that's what we should be doing.
It's not all inner city, though.
Not all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm talking about our issue. I can't speak globally what the issue is. I'm speaking about what
I'm saying, but it's not inner city teams only. That's my point. And
right.
Here,
well, I mean, I just think that we always look at what other people are doing, and we want to emulate it for whatever reason, and we want to try to be like them. And I think there's no place for it in the space. I think we've gotten to a point where we've let anybody through the door. We've stopped screening correctly. We've stopped holding the line correctly. We stopped setting the standard, which leads us to them back to conversations. And where we're at is we got a bunch of dudes out there leading young men. They got no business leading young men, period. We got people doing this for the wrong reasons. We got people thinking this is like the rap game and we need to be dressed up in shiesty masks and all types of doing this. And this is what we're teaching kids. Social media didn't help it, you know, but social media ain't going nowhere as we know. It's just, I think our behaviors, our actions our lack of accountability, our lack of holding the line has put this space in real jeopardy. Like I said, I told you, what's going to happen? You know, we're coming to the end of our run. You know, we both got 25 years in. Where does this space go once we're gone? Because that day's coming. It's coming. Our kids is getting older. Things are changing all around us.
I think so
like this.
Here's a little bit of New England issue. We have some people that would like to create a culture. No, here's New England issue. I think I know the issue. I think I know it. Y'all know. I think I know it all. I think I know it all. Look, at some people like, oh, I know Phil always think he know it all. I think I know it all, bro. I'm about to tell y'all the issue. Y'all ready? Tito, our problem in New England is we have programmatic culture. We don't have a culture, a area culture. I'm going to give an example. South Florida has a culture, Tito. Down there, when you notice, Tito, up here after Nationals, everybody come back ranting and raving on how, oh, they said they had an all-star team. They said they recruited. They come from counties. Know the difference, Tito? It's cultural. Nobody down there complains. Nobody picks up the phone and call National Pop One and say, hey, the Apopka is stacking their 12U. They got 5 kids from my program last year, and it's not cool, dude. This is really bad. Nobody picks up the phone and calls. It's cultural. Tito, if you got the best 12U, I don't care if a kid drives an hour from there. If he chooses to play for you, he chooses to play for you. I'll get some other kids, and I'll try to compete with you, and I'll beat you. It's cultural. We have programmatic culture. Some programs here think that it should be okay. Some programs don't. So here's the issue, Tito. We see this, what you see on the screen, y'all, right here. And you have some people that believe this culture is our New England culture.
It's not.
It's not our culture. This right here will look crazy in New England. This same scenario would look scary, aggressive, feisty in New England. Same thing. The same thing. I'm not talking about somebody coming with smoke. We've done that. I'm not talking about people jumping around. But what y'all seeing is, look at the stadium. I don't think the Turkey game was that packed. I'm talking about the culture you see here in South Florida is not our culture. So when adults come in and they all got on Pooh Shiesty masks in New England, for the most part, everybody like, what are they doing, bro? What are they doing? I remember this saying things about culture years ago. Do anyone remember that? I don't. But I'm just going to say something. Again, there are coaches with culture. There's programs with culture. It's independent up here. We don't have a New England culture. And if I'm lying, what is the culture in New England? Tell me. What's the culture?
Definitely not that. It's definitely not that.
It's not what y'all see here. Wait, give me a second, Tio. Listen to this. They pushing them. Look at this. They pushing them. Y'all hear the music? I ain't even going to say the words. They got horns. There is crowd members, little kids, parents, coaches, everybody on the field. All at once.
Well,
ain't
Jabari,
nobody called the police.
Jabari, the real question is, why are there so many leagues in Connecticut? Why? Clearly, because people don't want to play with us. And the reason they don't want to play with us is because of our behaviors and the shit that comes with us. That's the God's honest truth. And cats ain't going to want to hear it. We're incapable of acting right. That's why there's so many leagues in Connecticut. But and people could dispute it.
Misses the point. Like, I don't give a damn if it was one league in Connecticut. This is not the culture.
Right, it's not.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like, that's another issue that we've tackled already. The fact of the matter is, you've had some really dope games with really big energy. It wasn't this, Trav. It's not what you saw here. You
It's
played
not.
in Hartford. There's been good games. This is not the culture in Central Connecticut, Pop Warner.
Or it's not the culture
Right?
in New England. I haven't seen nothing
Or in
like
New
this.
England. It's
First of
never-
all, we do anything like that in New England, there will be a fight. As we know, there will be a fight. And police presence, people see that. People see that. Somebody's calling the cops. You
That's
know
what I
I'm saying?
said.
Somebody's
The
going to
police
call
is
the
getting
cops.
called. The police is getting called. And you know what? Here's the thing, though. Now I'm going to talk about what Tito was saying. The attempt of individuals to bring this culture into New England is why Connecticut small towns have decided to stay away from us. This is not the culture in New England. They don't want to be involved in it. I ain't saying it's right or wrong. I'm just giving y'all what I perceive to be the truth. This scares them. The small town New England.
Right. And
This
they don't want
culture
to be a
scares
part of it.
And so when you walk in with Pooh Shiesty masses and all of this, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not even casting stones. But don't get mad at me for telling you that I've spoke with people out of certain leagues that say, yo, I'm going to be honest, Phil, we don't want to be around it. They've told me personally, privately, because they don't want to look like they're racist for saying it, which they're not racist for saying it, but it will be perceived as racism. So they prefer to call me privately and go, Phil, the truth is, when people walk in here with the boom boxes and the mask, our kids, our community, our parents get scared. We don't want that. I'm not saying it's good or bad. You pass judgment on it. I'm telling you conversations privately with people that I spoke with. And look, I do push back against them because I don't believe that should be the case, but I'm not from their community and I don't get to tell them how to feel. Let's read some comments. The problem is people in New England want to do this, and this ain't us. Y'all want to chase this and forget that we actually here for. How many times I argue with dudes and they bring up the OG Ducks? Bro, we not on that. That happens a lot. Tito, you constantly hear the, but the OG Ducks do this.
Hold on, just to be clear, what I'm hearing, CT culture must remain vanilla. I'm not saying it needs to be vanilla, but it's not this.
No,
it's not this. It's definitely not this. To me, this is disrespect to the football game. There's no place for this.
Now, Dave, that is my goal. Dave have said what my goal is. My goal is to create a culture here. I don't know what that'll be. I want to create a culture. But before we can create a culture, we have to create men with emotional intelligence. Like Tito said, this in New England would be a fight. Why? Because we care about our emotions and our image, and we still got to be 30 and 40 and be tough. We can't go out there, jump around with our kids, enjoy ourselves in front of y'all, like, yeah, we gonna play football, and not be like, yo, bro, yo, they don't think I'm from the block. You're not from the block. 90% of you football dudes is not from the block. Like, you're not from the block. It's okay. It's okay. And not 90% of you football coaches shouldn't even be on the block, first of all. And it's okay if you've never been on the block. That's what we're telling our kids. That's what I'm telling mine. Don't ever get to the block. It's a bad place to be, dog. That's not what we want. And it's okay to never be from the block, never fight, but to have this and not fight. We can't do that in New England yet. We're emotional. Our emotional. Look at what happens online.
I just want to answer.
Do y'all? Go ahead.
I want to answer.
Let me read the rest of these. Southern, I'm gonna get to it. Santa Margarita is predominantly white, Hispanic, blacks, and Samoan. We don't do that out west. With all due respect, we help everyone up. Just giving you geographical perspective. It's a geographical thing. I appreciate that, Brad.
I believe it's a regional thing. Me and Phil say that all the time. This is South Florida's culture. That's not the culture in Georgia. That's not the culture in South Carolina. That's not the culture in North Carolina.
It's not.
I believe it's where you're at. Now, do I think we need to be vanilla or remain or perceived as too much? No. The kids could engage in some light banner or some friendly banner, but to cross each other and meet at the 50, no. Coaches dressing up all the same way, wearing shiesties and looking like they're on the block. using gang acronyms as mantras. No, that's not our culture in New England. It's never been. I've never seen the top programs in New England act that way. That's not a way we should be acting. That's just people could disagree with it. That's okay. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're trying to give kids an opportunity to play at the next level.
But you, Phil, have created a culture. You got a lot of towns and teams, the formula. Well, we're creating a culture, right? We're bringing in mass. We're going to create this thing together.
We built a platform that has created somewhat of a culture, yes. But again, the culture is still very much program to program. This is not a New England culture. Certain programs have a culture to them. That's our point.
Listen, the culture that was created in 203-860 very much was a lot more banterish than, it wasn't this, but it was a lot more banterish than what we're used to, right? Because again, if you can bring brothers together, when bullshit starts on a field, if I look across the field and I see Garrett over there, and I rock with Garrett, no matter what New Haven and Hartford doing, I know Garrett gonna look at his people and say, yo, chill. And I'm looking at Hartford and say, yo, chill. The problem before 860-203, a lot of brothers never really, so when the BS started, people was all for it. They was all for it, like, man, whatever with them. And so now we did it in Connecticut. Now how do we expand it? So that when Dorchester played, New Britain, nothing happens. Even if the crowd get a little mixy, those brothers coached against each other and they gave dap up. It's like, yo, chill. No, that's my mans in them. That's what the culture, until we create the emotional intelligence, we can't get to the banter, because with us is going to end up spilling on the internet and fighting. I guarantee you none of these dudes wanted to do anything to each other. I feel you, Tito. There has to be a line drawn. I'm just trying to understand, what does that look like in the old spirit of love, war mixed in times.
They don't. We're not.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this because it's going to
ruffle feathers. We don't have enough brothers with emotional intelligence to even do anything remotely close to this. We don't have enough solid individuals to do anything close to this. We got a bunch of dudes that are living their fantasies through coaching youth football, and it's clearly not good for our space. I mean, that's it.
Listen, I purged back in 2015. Tito, they called National Pop Warner on me. I went to our regional championship game. Al Perillo said, Phil, what the hell is up with these damn masks? If you guys walk out of here, if you say a chant, if you have any mask, if you say anything, I'll forfeit your regional championship game and Dorchester will win. There was people that came to the game to watch us purge, and we had it playing, Tito. We couldn't do it. We walked out of there. It was very toxic inside the locker room. We walked out. We didn't even cheer. Tito, and on the same note, the other team we was playing did our chant, came out with boom boxes and did it all. But we were told if we said anything, we wouldn't even get to play the game. We would be kicked out. So y'all want to know what the culture is? It ain't. This is like way far from what it was. And again, when we purged, we didn't run across the 50 or none of that, right? It was show for us. It was to pump our crowd up and show Hartford we on one. That's what it was for. Fundamentally sound. What should the culture in New England be? What does it look like in real time? We don't know. I say all the time. I think it's getting created, fellas. I think we all part of it, and we all got to be able to mix it up. Half, when you and Trev see each other across, it should be cool for y'all to banter back and forth and let the crowd see it, and then y'all laugh and give daps. So they go, oh, okay, they good, then we good. Because there's people that follow all of us. There's people that follow all of us. There's people that if they see Half and Trev shake hands, they're going to fall back. But if they see Trev is upset and Half having fun and Trev ain't feeling it, it's a couple dudes in Bloomfield that's going to be like, yo, home say something else, I'm on them. We create the culture is what I'm saying. And so we got to be responsible for how the culture is getting created. And Sonya was not messing with it. That's okay. We got it. We got it. Bears versus Steelers and continued to high school. However, we was outside with the others just in the city. But these kids and adults don't have community. That's true. It's something to be said, Deuce, when we had our inner city Hartford League.
Well, no, there was a sense of community. There was a sense of community there because that's before. Again, that's before right. That's before the regional CREC schools or whatever you want to call them. When they started the CREC schools, they ruined the sports community in Hartford, and that was done on purpose. That was done on purpose. That's where a lot of us in the inner cities have lost the community culture with the youth programs to the high school because our kids are spread way too thin and moved everywhere, which was done on purpose to keep us weak. Because look now, you got the Fairfield County rose to dominance. When there was only 3 high schools in Hartford, Hartford was a dominant force.
Yeah.
When there was no New Britain losing kids to all these CREC schools, they were a dominant force. Hill House was a dominant force. There was a time Bristol Central was a very good double L football school. There was a time Danbury was a very good, Chef Verse O'Neill was programmatically put here on purpose to ruin the sense of sports and community. How do you keep a hood down? You rob them of their community pride. That's what they did in all the urban areas in Connecticut. And we all just went for it like it was a good thing.
You know why? They sold it to us as, we're giving you better education.
Yeah, and it's not.
They were slick enough to sell it to you as, here, we giving you better education. No. You won't get free college anymore because colleges won't be coming to watch your sporting athletes. You got to bust those out to the suburban schools if you want that. We're giving you better education. Let's put less resources into these sporting programs. Not knowing for a family to save $100,000 for a kid to go to college, that changed the trajectory of a last name. You know what $100,000 debt does to a family? A mother and a father that got to put their kid through Ohio State and that kid could have got it for free. But because he was in an inner city school that told him, we value education. See, the thing is, people, it's hard to argue against somebody that go, well, we're about education, not about athletics. The stupidity is that some people are better at athletics than education. And there's a lot of NFL players, Tito, and we just got to say it out there. There's a lot of NFL players that was a C+ student, but an A+ athlete. And you know what? It changed the trajectory of their last name. And we have let people convince us that if you're a C+ student and an A+ athlete, the A+ athlete, it doesn't matter. Just give a damn about the C+, bring it up to a B- only. That's all you should be concerned about because it's all about that. And that's not true because you can change the trajectory of a last name. And a lot of those athletes went on to graduate college after they got into the NFL. You know why? Because now they can afford it. Some of them could not wait to get out of college, to go to the NFL, to get their mom out the hood, to get their brother off the street, to get their mom who was on drugs to a community center, and now all she could do is travel the earth with his last name on his jersey. We got tricked so easily into this thought process. And don't be ignorant and say I'm saying education is not important. Don't be ignorant like that. What I'm saying is education is 100% important. But when there's a lot of people out there, your athletics may be the reason or may be what God gifted you with to change the trajectory of your last name forever. And we've let people in municipalities change that thought process because they can't do nothing. They got secretary spread. You know what that is? They've been sitting in the chair all day just going out wide, and they can't even move. But they're making decisions on your kids who busting his butt with the trainer every day and changing the trajectory of his life. But don't get me started because I don't want to get on them. Hey, I wanted to address this. Expanding how we have coaches from all over Connecticut working together for a common goal on Saturday, building relationships and making sure we work beyond the numbers. That's exactly what part of the purpose of the All-Star game is.
Well, that's the foundation. That's the foundation of the culture that we try to build with our forum, this podcast, and this All-Star game. That was the purpose of it, of showing that we could work together, and his work. And now we took it a step further and brought the whole state together to take on Massachusetts, which also did the same thing. So I don't want to discredit what they doing. They trying to, you know, they met us halfway in the middle and do the same thing. And from what I'm seeing on our side, it worked. I can't speak for what happened over there, but it definitely worked on our side. And a lot of cats on our side at times beefed with each other, and now we're coaching with each other. So it's a work in progress. But I do think I'm not going to let off the fact that we got to be more wiser who we letting coach these kids, and that goes for everybody.
Or Tito, or we put them in a position how you and I was when we came in. Not the same, but we create a culture where if they do come here, they act a certain way. They come in with emotional intelligence.
We had this conversation.
They come in minding their business and understanding. I got to learn from the OG. I got to learn from Rick.
Yo, when me and Phil met each other,
we've been here. I got to learn from Tito and Phil and a couple of. It's not about age. It's not about age. There's a couple young guys
came into this thing
a long time that they can learn.
When me and Phil came into this thing plus 20 years ago, we were the two very different cats. The two 100%. Very different cats that was in rooms, and we couldn't say a word. You had to shut up and listen. You had to play by their rules if you wanted to survive.
Or they
you
let
couldn't
you
do this shit you
out
do
and
now,
it was over.
where you could just come on the internet and claim stake as something and act like you're the biggest and best. We've seen so many of you cats come and go. You had to shut the. I hate to say it like this. You had to shut your top lip with your bottom lip, and you had to play by their rules. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, it was in much better hands when they were in charge. Once we got involved, it kind of got ruined. Not us, I'm saying holistically. When we just let anybody in, it got ruined. When there was order here, it was a beautiful thing in Connecticut.
Dude, I remember getting denied.
We had to do what the populace did.
I got denied, Tito. I was denied by CTYFL. I got denied by AYF. Listen, it was AYF just didn't let a team with one team want to come in. Want to join us? Sure, come in, jump in. Boom, you got a team. Oh, I'm mad at Tito. I'm breaking off. I got 10 players here with some equipment in a bank account. Hey, let me join AYF. Okay, cool. You crazy? Tito, I was showing up to AYF, had equipment in my basement, had everything, and it was like, let us think about it. CTYFL, absolutely not. Like, it was hard to get in a league back then because the league was together. And I told y'all this, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before we talk about the NEBCS games. I told y'all this. If the league owners came together and they said, you know what, fellas? We not going to be thirsty for teams. I'm not allowing the teams you got, Tito, to do some dumb BS to you and just jump into our league. And we agree. When they come to you, Tito, or they come to me and say, yo, we tied of Tito. Why? Because we cheated and he suspended us. I'm going to send them back to Tito. So unfortunately, there's nowhere else for you to go. My league not accepting you, that league not accepting you, nor that league. Go back, talk to Tito, make it right, do the adult thing, work it out. The culture is back when that happened. Back then, that was the culture. You couldn't get mad at the CTYFL and jump into Southern, then jump into Shoreline, then jump into somewhere else. I just hear some shit in my basement. Hold on. Go ahead, Tito. You couldn't just jump in league to league back then. You couldn't get mad at this league, jump to that league. Get mad at that league, jump to this league. That wasn't available for you, bro. You know why, Tito? Leagues talk. They go, oh, no. The Hurricanes just left CTYFL because they got caught cheating. It was over for you. Tito, don't get caught cheating from back then. It was over for you. Nobody was going to take you. You dissolve your program. Come out with ignorant stuff and do stupid stuff. It was over.
We boxed ourselves in the corner. Now, we got a couple thriving. We only got one league that's thriving. Unfortunately, there's one thriving league ran by minorities. We all know which league that is. We've seen other leagues. We saw one fold. We see one struggling. We see a couple struggling right now because everybody thinks they know better than me and you, bro. And instead of trying to come together and work it out. Everybody got to have their own piece of the pie because of the crabs in the barrel mentality. Oh, these cats is getting too big. We got to try to do something else. How many dudes have come for us? You all have lost. You all have lost. We have squashed you. You guys, it's ridiculous the things I see.
And it's not anything that we do, y'all. It's because I tell Tito,
we stand on business.
At the end of the day, just have good intention, Tito, and have good energy. Like, let God deal with it. We have to let God deal. When people say, oh, they doing an all-star game, let's create an all-star game to compete with their all-star game. I have never done anything specifically because I want to go against somebody. Everything that we've created was always for, yo, there's nothing in this space. Let's do something to help these group of kids. The all-star game. This platform. That's why y'all don't see a bunch of dudes selling jerseys on our platform. Y'all don't see a bunch of, hey, Pakistan this and Bangladesh that and China this and they selling. Y'all don't see that. It's conversational. Y'all don't even see 1,000 posts for flyers and people selling stuff. That is purposely. That's purposely. Why? Because we want insightful, engaging conversation that doesn't exist. And that will keep our numbers down because you know what? There is some groups with 18,000 people. Right? But everything is just dumped in there. It's a melting pot. And you got to shuffle through the mess to even get anything of substance out of it. We get substantive conversations in our platform. That was done. Also, coming 2026, the New England Hall of Fame, Youth Hall of Fame. As more information come out about that, that's just for youth. It's not to compete with nobody. Ain't nobody doing it. But I saw it in Alabama. I called down to Alabama. They gave me some tips. I said, you know what? Let's bring this to our kids in New England. They deserve it. Why don't they deserve a running back of the year award, dressed up with their whole family there?
You mean the ESPY? You talking about the youth ESPY? You talking about the youth ESPYs? You talking about the youth ESPY
Award? Yeah,
not the
New England ESPY Awards. Why don't they deserve that? There's other people in other parts of the country doing stuff that we're just looking around trying to bring that up to New England to create that and, again, make that part of our culture. It's not there. It's not really designed to bring anything anybody else doing down. It's not during – we don't schedule it during the time of some all-star game or some spring game to make sure it's in competitive with that. Because to me, you do anything out of ill spirit or only to compete, you ain't doing it because you're not passionate about it, no good energy around it, and God's just not going to bless you with it. And so everything I do, if I'm involved, is going to be pure. It's not going to be with no hate because I don't really have to hate on nobody about nothing in life. Like I just want good energy. If I can help a person out, I help them. And if I can't, I can't. But all the other stuff, I don't even respond to negative text messages. There's people that text me negative stuff. Yo, but I don't respond. Y'all don't got to respond to you. I'm a grown man. I don't even got to respond to you. You could delete my number. I got to respond to nobody. And so, because the negative energy brings negative. So, the reason that this game is so positive, it's been positive energy. Yes, there was people that tried to hate on it. But I told Brian this. Me and Tito knew this. I kept telling Tito and Brian, let's just be 100% positive. Keep going at the goal. There's going to be people that don't play. There's going to be people that say it ain't good. There's going to be people that say he shouldn't have changed it. There's going to be people. Keep going. We're going to keep going, keep posting, keep bringing positive energy, keep talking about the youth, keep offering things that nobody else offering. And at the end of the day, we just keep the limelight on the youth. It's all going to work out. And I think God did a pretty good job in this game. And thanks to all the coaches and parents.
When you stand on doing the right thing, the energy, the universe has a funny way of making it always work out. And I've always believed that. And that's why we've always tuned out the noise and we continue to do what we do. Because when you do things based on pure intentions, it's always going to work out for you. When you do things to try to come at somebody else and try to stymie another man's progress, the universe don't pay you that way. At least that's what I believe. That's what I believe. And that's why we're still here 25 years later. That's why we've pushed the culture forward. And that's why things continue to work out for us.
Hey, listen. So I hear all the time that Rhode Island want to be involved. I hear all the time, and you know, I see, y'all ain't let Rhode Island in. This was not about letting anybody in. This was a Connecticut game in which Sam put me on the phone, and Sam is part of the. Well, you have been said tap into Brian
Right.
because he wasn't doing it,
Yeah,
but Sam was the one
I
that
was
put
involved
me
in this All-Star game 3 years ago. Yeah, I was involved in the B-Town Classic 3 years
So
ago.
you had already told me, yo, Brian, but Sam was the one that called Brian up, and me and Brian spoke, and we said, okay, let's do it. It wasn't about Xing nobody out. But at the time, if y'all remember, I started promoting the All-Star game January 1st. We didn't start this All-Star game until April? It was mad late, Tito. Tito's like, yo, Phil, you behind the gun, bro. We should have been going. You was constantly telling me that. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it, bro. Then when me and Brian talked, we were already behind the gun. We just took off and shot out of a cannon. It wasn't about now. Rhode Island, we would love for you guys to have a team. New Hampshire, if you're out there, we would love for you and Maine to put together a team. But I'm telling y'all from a person that
put together
if you
a
don't
team.
want to listen, we can't be involved. You need somebody with the credibility to draw in the state and the community. Just got to have that. If there's no buy-in, it's not going to work. Not the way our processes work. The process has to be done the way we want it done, or we don't want to be involved. Not saying you won't do it that way, Dave. I'm just saying there is a process that Connecticut followed, that I convinced Brian to follow, and I think he now believes that the others would have to follow. So we would have to meet with somebody, tell them the process, pricing, so everything is consistent. We don't want this state charging $200 and this state charging $20. To me, that's not real, and it's not true. We all want to be consistently doing exactly the same thing, so we all can look at each other and say, I'll play them because I know they follow the same process as us. No. I know. I'm not saying you saying y'all got X'd out. I'm just saying we didn't not X anybody out. It just, again, how we started with Connecticut, we're starting with Mass. That's all I was saying, brother. All right, hey, Tito, the New England BCS, bro. 3 days away.
Well, let's talk about, hold on, my man, that we added a new element to the All-Star game.
No, I was going to bring that up. That's what I'm bringing up. Yeah. I'm going to show it and everything, brother. You know I'm going to show that. But before we get to that, let's talk about the game. Because there's also some other stuff going on. So for number one, Tito, I just want to reiterate this. We got Coach Lucas Campos, 13U from Malden, versus Coach Rick Merritt from West Haven with all the assistant coaches. Both teams was in a regional championship. One team lost, very close to winning. The other team won and made the national championship. I think it'll be a good game. I definitely think that you should be out there to see the 13U game. At 12U, we got Coach Jose Quintana, 12U from the Lynn Rams, versus Larry Myers. Again, I don't think Lynn won a regional championship, but Larry Myers made the national championship. Definitely listening to all of them, there seemed to be a lot of talent in this 12U game. I was a little afraid that Connecticut will be way overdo it, but I think now Mass might have a chance to at least fight back. When? I don't know. 12U Cotton Bowl kicks off at 4:30, Manchester High School. Let's go to the next game. Coach Shaquem Barnes. Oh, no, we got to get the 11U. Who's at 11U? Who's 11? Oh, okay, here we go. Coach Mel Fior out of Everett, Pop Warner. He's going against JB from Stratford. I haven't heard anything out of. Oh no, somebody posted that Mass 11U they watch practice and Connecticut 11U in trouble. So that gives me some good feeling that Mass is coming to play at that level. I was a little worried. I wasn't hearing anything out of the 11U team, but it sounds like they are. We had the brother Shaquem on the podcast at 10U. Him and Rob Best, two of the more subtle game. Nobody's really talking about 10U. Maybe the game of the day. Don't sleep on this game. But we got that game. The 10U game is kicking off at 6 o'clock. The 10U NEBCS is kicking off at 6. 9U, Coach Steve Oliver versus Coach Terrell. Again, not really two brothers.
That's an interesting game, Steve. You know, Steve's a very good coach. Like I'm
been around a long time.
I'm interested to see. I mean, I know Connecticut's loaded, but I know Steve gonna draw some talent. I'm pretty sure Steve gonna draw some talent.
I'm not hearing nothing from Mass 9U, which makes me a little unwary because I usually like to get my ear to the ground. But Steve over there running the Bill Belichick program where ain't nothing coming out of the media over there. But that and that game is kicking off at 1:30. That should be an interesting game. Connecticut is very, very talented, very loaded at that level. I told you that might be the level that's most loaded that I've seen, top to bottom. But we'll see how that go. Then of course, 8U, Mr. Jordan Lark against the General. I don't think we need to talk about that game at all. Ever since Jordan put up that meme, Tito, he cannot win the game. Like
it's war.
Jordan throw every meme he does, he put me in it instead of all of your coaching staff. I never understand it,
all right.
But it's all good.
It's and all right. We'll be there ready to play. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna be there ready to play.
Jordan, get ready, brother. At 7U, Coach Leroy Hurd versus Coach Rodney Myers. Rodney, I was at his practice today. The 7U's ready from Connecticut, bro. They got some dogs. One thing I can tell you is Connecticut is going to hit everything moving at 7U. They're going to hit everything moving. And, Coach Rodney Myers got him. I seen his staff. They're putting in that work. So I don't think I really know Coach Leroy that well. But, definitely going to be good. And then at 6U, we got Chris Durant on our side. Is Brian Arrington a 6U coach on the other side?
I believe so.
And Brian, wow. Brian going to go down in flames in his own
Nah, Chris going to get, my man Nut going to get his just due. Cat's going to start.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Chris got a team. Like he is, that 6U game is the hidden gem, bro. Connecticut 6U, bro, could play some 8U teams around the nation. Like, they are stacked. I'm saying they really got some talent on that team. So listen, that is going to be a great day. Let me say that. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day of football. Now let me talk about some logistics because I was hearing some things. Number one, all tickets will be sold at the gate. Nobody has purchased no tickets. Ain't nobody getting free. All tickets must be purchased at the gate. We have not sold a ticket yet. Okay? So all tickets must be purchased at the gate. We ain't do no pre-sale. Your tryout ticket do not get you in the game. That was a tryout ticket, not a game ticket. I want to be clear, and emails will go out. If you bought the video package, which will be up to about 10 a.m. tomorrow, we have currently 51 video packages purchased. We only can accept 9 more. There will be a table in which you will check in. You're going to get an email saying all of this. You're going to check in on your video package at the table. We got 4 videographers, 4 or 5. We got 5 photographers. Then the field is going to be wrapped. Do not bring your own videographer that can't get on the field. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they shoot, the Los Angeles Lakers. They cannot get on the field. We're making sure that this thing is business twice. Destiani, stop asking me about Hunter. He must pay. As I move on. So you're going to check in at your table. If you bought the video package, you must check in between 45 minutes to 30 minutes prior to game time. 45 minutes to 30 minutes prior to game time. Can I repeat what I said about tickets? Yes. Hello, Crystal. All tickets, we're not selling tickets. To get into the game, you must pay at the gate. The gate fee is $15. Everybody, to get in the game, you must pay at the gate. Coaches, players, volunteers will have a different entrance than the public. Coaches, players, and volunteers will have a different entrance than
You
the
have to
public.
buy the tickets at the
You
door.
must buy the ticket at the door
At
to
the
get
door.
in. You will get a wristband when you get there, when you get in, so you can go in and out. Do not go to the dollar store and try to buy the wristbands we got, because you can't. They are specialized wristbands with a special design on it. We have had people try that too, claim they want to support, but then they try to jump fences and do stuff like that, right? And so that's the deal with it. Players and coaches and volunteers will have a different entrance. They do not have to pay. I promised y'all that once players made the team, they will not have to pay anything else, and we stick with our word with it, and we meant it. If your child is under 5, there will be a different fee. I don't know what the fee is yet. My meeting is tomorrow with staff. Under 5, the fee may be different. 5 and up is 15. Okay? There we go. Yeah, so that's what it is. But Tito, let's get to some house cleaning items, bro. So, I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'm gonna show. I'm gonna do it unless you want me to say what's going on.
Well, we took on a new sponsor this year. My man Rich Paul, Coach Rich Paul, owner of I want to say it's International Hairstylist here in New Britain, has been kind enough to sponsor 2 awards, I believe. Right? It's 2 different awards.
Yes. Yep.
Coaching.
This is the coach, the best honorary coaches award to the. He's watching all the games. This is all him. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
With me or Phil, so don't come looking for us.
Don't come looking
Don't
for
come
us.
looking
We
for
have
us.
no insight. He's going to watch all the games, and he's going to give personally the honorary coaches award. This is a big, massive ring with the NEBCS on the front. He's going to give it out. Now, if he give it to a 6U coach and it's 7:30 and you're not there, I'll be collecting it, and we'll make sure it gets to the coach. This is all his decision. He asked that he be involved to do this. We said yes. We thought it was a dope idea to add value to. And look, this is not a Connecticut thing. This is coaches. Could be Mass or Connecticut. This is a sponsor who's watching the game. He has never been to an All-Star game. Do not say he's siding with Connecticut, but he's there to watch football, okay? It has nothing to do with that. He reached out and said he'd love to give an award to the best coach on the day. And so that's what he's doing.
Right, and that could be a head coach. It could be a coordinator. It could be a coach that made a difference, an impact in the game. It could be, well, there's no special teams, but it could be, it don't have to be a head coach. It's who he feels was the best coach on the day. And
we're going to ask that, everybody understand and respect that, because, that's what he want to do. And I think
listen, that's the idea of a team mom impacts the game. I'm sure he'll take that into consideration.
Right. And he'll be also given an award. Now, understand there is lineman MVP awards already, but he will be given an award to who he deemed to be the best lineman on the day. From his perspective, this is not a voting block. It's not 3 people making a decision. It's 1. It's him. He's paying. He's the sponsor.
That's what he's going. I thought he had the lineman award was in a 3-point stance. That might be a different award.
No, he went with this one. He said that one was small.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to do it. So this is what he's giving out to the lineman, the best lineman one. And so you guys, that's what's happening. I also want to mention that whoever gets this award right here, that Ty is Digital, Ty Carter, is going to give them a free recap highlight video of that team. The videographers will be shooting everything, but they're only providing videos for those that paid. But if you get this award, since they'll have the footage, they will provide that team with a overall highlight video of the coaches, the kids, and everybody. Now, it's not a highlight video of a kid. Y'all know it's a team recap highlight video of that whole team. And also, Tyus Digital will be providing a $100 Dick's gift card to who they deem to be the player of the day as well. So we got 4 things given. We got the NEBCS Coaches Award, given by Rich Paul. Rich Paul is also given the NEBCS Lineman of the Day. Tyus Digital is whoever Rich Paul chooses as the coach of the year. The coach of the day. They will get a free team recap highlight video, and then once that happens, we'll also be given a $100 gift card away to one special child. There's a lot of things going on, and we appreciate everything. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I did not.
Let me correct that.
$5.
Rich,
$15. We have not mentioned what the other fee is. That'll come up tomorrow.
Coach Rich Paul's business is called Industry Hair Studio on Farmington Avenue, Britain. For people that want to know, he owns a couple barbershops in the New Britain.
What is it called again?
Industry Hair Studio on Farmington Avenue, Britain. He does have, I believe, a location in Hartford, maybe somewhere else. He's got a couple locations, but that his business, Industry Hair Studio, and Coach Rich Paul, is sponsoring these awards, just so we make sure.
So, ladies, if you need your hair done,
right, he's got it all there. Men, ladies, kids, it all. He's got it all. I believe nails and all of that too. I'm almost positive about that.
He does it all, and so listen, we always talk about supporting each other, and this is a gentleman that decided to add value to your child's game, to your child's event. And so if you are looking for a hair studio, if you looking to get your hair done, you may not have nobody in a pinch, you definitely want to look up Industry Hair Studio. I spelled that wrong. It's studio, not studian. Let me correct that. But anyway, you want to make sure you look up Industry Hair Studio and give them a shot. I mean, they added value to your child's game. Maybe we can reciprocate the love, because one thing that we got to do, in this youth football community, we got so many people that do so many different things. We probably got carpenters, electricians, plumbers. Some of us got houses, apartments that go through stuff. We could probably just utilize our own services internally and help each other out. That'll be dope. Will the game be streamed online anywhere? Yes, it will be streamed, and the links will be coming Friday night.
And they'll be right here on our YouTube channel.
It'll be on our YouTube page. So friend our YouTube page if you out there. Hit like, friend, subscribe, hit notify. Violate that like button. Hit like, subscribe. Go ahead, please hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube page. And if you hit notify, when games are starting, it'll notify you right on your phone, right on your YouTube page, and all that stuff. But yes, the NEBCS games is going down. It's definitely going to be one for the ages. It's going to be probably the best NEBCS games that we have had. It used to be CTBCS, but we changed it to New England. So, it'll probably be one of the best that we've had. Let me put the schedule up. I know a lot of people keep asking about when the games are. I've shared it 1,000 times, but if you're watching, here are the game times. One more again. Right? Here are the game times. So make sure. Hey, listen, man, come watch the 6-year-olds play. I know they're young, but make sure, brother. I'm telling y'all might want to come watch these kids ball out. You're not about to see no little kid ball. These kids could throw passes on both sides. They can run jet sweeps and tosses and fly routes and double reverses. You want to give these boys their credit. At this 6 and 7U, they're balling for real, right? Like I've seen the 6U and 7U team on the Connecticut side. I can only imagine Mass is equally as talented. And so make sure y'all come out early. The gates open up at 8 a.m. Gates open up at 8 a.m. Make sure y'all come out early, and make sure y'all, I'm telling y'all can bring a tent. I don't know how many times to say it. I done warned y'all that if y'all interested, y'all can bring a tent, because what's going to happen is it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Get in hot, hot, hot. I'm going to show one more video, Tito, because I think it's important. I showed this last night, but I'm going to show one more video, and then we're going to get up out of Dodge. Jesus Christ. I want to show y'all another video.
There's a committee that picks those things. The MVPs. There's a committee. Phil has a committee assigned that picks those things. Coaches have no say in who's picked as the offensive and defensive players of the game.
Volunteers, 7 a.m. If you can, ideally 7 a.m. We would like the volunteers there. We got a lot of setup to do. We gotta we want to make sure when those gates open that everybody is ready. We're serving breakfast, so don't stop and get nothing to eat. We're bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for breakfast. So we're gonna have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're gonna have chicken wings, French fries, hot dogs, hamburgers. There's gonna be popcorn being sold. We're working on the ice cream truck. Like, there's going to be everything. You're just going to be able to come, stay all day, and let me tell y'all what it looked like. Let's watch this, y'all. Watch this.
Yeah. Sight.
So this is the entrance right here that people will walk through. If you have a video package, the table will be set up over here near this little grass area for you to go up and check in your child. Okay? I'll keep going.
2025 NEBCS bowl games.
This is the entrance for both teams to the field. All players and coaches, listen up. You cannot be on the track with your cleats. You go through here and get onto the football field. I live in this town. We play on this town against Pop Warner. They don't allow people on the track with their cleats. So all coaches, volunteers, players will have staff reminding you, don't get mad when we ask the people to get off the track. They got to preserve this track for the high school. This is where the high school state track meets take place.
This side.
That's the home side. Home stands is 2 stands on the side. And I'll show you if you got your tent and chairs where you can set up. You can set up tents and chairs down here all along there. There's all grass area. You can set up down there. I'll show you else. Away team is over there. There's also places to set up tents and chairs over there as well. Again, that's where I just walked through. This will not be an entrance. This is the public. I'm going to show you the players' entrance. Not here, not here. It'll be on the other side of that red building. So they're going to enter over here where the grass is. Look at all this space that the teams got to practice. Y'all can set up tents all right here, all behind these stands, and all on the other side of that red building way down there. Like I told you, there's more than enough room. Get there early, though, because when somebody got a tent set up, don't be talking about move over. Please go to the ATM and get cash for the entrance. That's going to come out in the email. Go to the ATM. We are not accepting cards. We're not accepting cards. We do not want to accept Cash App, but we will go to the ATM and get cash for the gate, please. I'm asking everybody, please come with cash for the gate, if you don't mind.
Bring your tents up. 2025 NEBCS bowl game.
That's the scoreboard. It'll be up and running and live. And again, this is the entrance gate. You'll pay. Right? Players going to go to the right. Parents go through this gate. You take a right if you're going to the home side, and you take a left if you go into the away side. So you take a right if you're going to the home side. Connecticut's on the right. Mass teams are going to be on the left. And that's what we got, Tito. That's what it's going to be. How you feeling about Saturday, bro? Let me check the weather.
Don't do that. Why you keep doing that to yourself, bro?
I know, bro. I be stressed out. I'm stressed
doing
out.
That to yourself.
I'm stressed out right now. Everybody, I've been checking the weather since
3 weeks ago.
So January, bro. Hey,
bro.
Listen.
We bumped into everything possible with this game before. It's gonna go off without a glitch, bro. The football
Hey, y'all, right now, the football guys and everybody's working with us. We're talking about 84. It's gonna be humid. It's gonna be a 9 out of 11 index, 76% humidity.
So let's just be clear. 84 on the turf means 104. Just to be clear. Hydrate your football players.
Not 20 degrees.
Oh, it's 104, but it feels like 104. On the turf field, add 10 to 15 degrees. Make sure your kids are prepared. Wear light colors under their uniforms. Don't wear black and navy blue shirts. Make sure they're in light colors. Have them hydrate the night before. Have them hydrate early. Feed them a nutritional breakfast and lunch. Don't have them eat McDonald's before going out to play in 100
or just
degree
come
weather.
eat from the food truck early so you get that nice breakfast that we cooking. Listen up. I'm going to say it again. We have purchased 60 gallons of water for the sideline. We will have staff manning the sideline. Coaches, team moms, players, do me a favor. Do not open up the water bottle and pour it over kids' heads. I know we think that's enough water. It is not enough water. We go through water like crazy. We are providing water for the kids. There will be a table on each sideline with a 10-gallon Gatorade, sponsored by Gatorade. Shout out to Gatorade. Gave us 10-gallon coolers. There will be 2 squirt bottles, Gatorade bottles each side. Those bottles are to stay. Do not take the water bottles with you. Squirt the water in your mouth, put it back on the table. We will have people manning the sidelines for that. Those bottles need to last all day. We are manning that. We're going to refill the 10-gallon jugs as we need, but we are providing water for the sidelines. Yes, we have purchased more water than we ever have before. The most we ever bought was 20, and it never lasted. And with us adding games, we decided to blow it up to 60 gallons of water we have purchased just so the kids can stay hydrated. And it's Poland Spring. You know how expensive Poland Spring is? We've bought y'all Poland Spring gallon waters because we care in the NEBCS game. We're getting Poland Spring. Great Value was more expensive, so I bought Poland Spring. Okay? It's the truth. But for real, seriously, we want to make sure everybody stay hydrated. Coaches, you can bring a tent for your sideline. When it's done, you can break it down and move it off. All right? Bring a tent for your sideline if you want to keep the kids out. We're not allowing 30 tents on the sideline, 1 tent on each sideline. If you want to put it up to keep the kids out the sun, you can do that, and that'll be great. Anybody else got any questions? If not, I'm going to let it go one more time. Y'all ready? Let's go. The NEBCS is a 3-day countdown. And tomorrow, I'm going to do a new commercial. It's going to say a 2-day countdown. It's going to be red because we are going to make sure everybody and their mother know about this game before Saturday. And if y'all know anybody from the news, make sure they show up and cover these kids. Tag WFSB, Fox 61, WTNH, WFSB, WTN8 out of New Haven. Tag them all. Because if one of these kids was out doing some BS, they'd be the first one to post them on their social media so people all around the nation could talk crap about them. But now they're staying off the streets. They playing a team out of state, and it's all a friendly love environment. Means everything. We going to have contests, too. Maybe I'll do a team mom sprint. Destiani, you want to race 100 yards versus the team mom from the 6U team on the other side. We'll do it for a bucket hat. We're going to do competitions amongst the crowd. All right, we'll have that. If you're interested in announcing, let me know. I got some people from Connecticut announcing. If you know somebody that want to announce from the Mass side, or if you from Connecticut, you're interested in announcing, let me know. We are looking for additional announcers. We got some that's doing most of the day, but we're looking for a couple others. Anyway, it's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. I will see y'all all Saturday. I will be rejuvenated. I will be out there at 6:45 live in the flesh setting up. If you're a volunteer and you want to come help your boy out, feel free to pull up. I'll be outside, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, leader of the Fifth State Army. Peace to the guys on the earth.
Peace to the guys in the earth. And like I said, Mass, Connecticut will go 8-0. Put that on my hat. 8-0. Lucas, what up? We got a fun-filled show tonight.
Hot. I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm rubbing.
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around. She caught me.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
We locked the
Clear. I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No,
Never.
that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.